Greetings, this is Nia Imara from NABSS TV and the National Association of Black Supplementary Schools, and today I'm interviewing Emmanuel Amevor. We've worked together previously and we'll go into that, and he's involved very much in the promotion of African heritage literature. So greetings, Elder Emmanuel. How are you, sir?
Greetings, Brother Nia. So nice to see you.
Yes, yes. So let's talk about your early years. Where was you born and how did you manage to come to the UK?
Oh, well, that takes me back to the motherland, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, I was born in Ghana, specifically Accra, the capital of Ghana, in West Africa. Yeah, in 1950. And I had my early education in Ghana, Accra, and also continued with my secondary education in Kumasi, the second largest city in Ghana. Then after my secondary education, I proceeded to a college. It's now a university, actually, called the Institute of Professional Studies. And now it's the University of Professional Studies, where I studied accountancy.
Where was that? Where?
In Accra.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, the college is in Accra, and I began studying accountancy there. And then from there, before I proceeded to the UK. But when I was in the secondary school and the college, I was very active in what we would call student politics at that time. And for, I think, a year or so, I was the regional secretary in the Greater Accra region of one of the biggest student unions. It's called the Ghana United Nations Students Association. It's got some affiliation to the UN, but not directly. I mean, we were involved in studying and shadowing the work of the United Nations, what they do and things like that, and also learning about international affairs, world politics and all that. And I was the regional secretary, I think in 1971, 72 for the Greater Accra region. And that was when I was at the Institute of Professional Studies, when I was studying accountancy.
Okay.
Then from there, after I left that college, I worked for the Ghana Audit Service for, I think, 2 or 3 years, during which time I learned about the rudiments of auditing, having studied accountancy. And from there, I mean, I couldn't complete the whole of the examinations in Ghana because there were no facilities. The institute only provided tuition for what we then call the intermediate part of the ACCA, that is the Chartered Association of Certified Accountants. You could only study up to the intermediate level. There were no facilities for studying to complete it. So I was forced to travel to the UK to complete that part of my studies.
Okay, was that your first time in the UK?
Yes, that was my first time, indeed. Yeah, that was.
How was day one?
Yeah, I mean, we'll come to that. But I have an interesting story to tell you on that.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, yeah. But whilst I don't think you remember, you might be too young to remember Festac, 1977.
Yeah, too young.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It was an international cultural festival organized by the government of Nigeria. It was a Black Arts festival that attracted writers, historians, artists from all over the world. There were participants from Brazil, United States, the UK, you name it. It was a huge, huge festival. That was in 1997. And that is one of the greatest festivals that I've attended. And it made me sort of took a deeper interest in the arts. Although, accountancy is very, very dry. But when I was at the college, when I was at secondary school in Kumasi, I was privileged enough to meet a very great man who is called Professor Abladi Glover. He's an eminent artist, and he was then the head of the College of Arts at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And I met him there because I was attending the secondary school that was attached to that university, the Technology Secondary School. And so I met this man, and although there was a big age gap, we became friends through very curious circumstances. Because I was living in Kumasi with my mom and her husband. My mom and my dad, they divorced sometime earlier. And so I was living with them, and my mom's husband was transferred to Accra. So I was left alone. The school had no boarding facilities. And it was right in the campus of the university. So a friend of mine, we just approached this guy, a very nice man, Dr. Glover. And then they had some plush residences. And naturally, they have what we called boys' quarters, which was attached to their bungalow. So a friend of mine approached him and said, look, can we do some housework for you while you give us free accommodation? Yeah, and lo and behold, Professor Glover agreed and took us in. And so for gardening, a bit of housework, we had free accommodation.
Good deal.
And yeah, and he was, as I said, he was the head of College of Arts. And so the whole house was full of paintings. He's one of the greatest painters you can ever come across. And currently, he runs the Omanye Arts Gallery in Accra at the moment, in Labadi. Anytime you go to Accra, you can check out on him. And his paintings, believe it or not, are in the rare collections of the Japanese royal family.
Japanese royal family.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
They are private collections, and also you can find some at the O'Hare International Airport.
Okay.
In Chicago. Yeah. So that tells you the type of caliber this guy is. And so with that, I think I spent about 2-3 years with him, and that is where I started appreciating the arts. And so later on, when I attended the Festac in Lagos, it really, really opened my eyes to the importance of arts and human development. And it was at that time that Fela Anikula Kuti, the Nigerian Afrobeats originator, was at to speak. So throughout the whole festival, I think the festival lasted over a month or so. We spent about a week or so there, week to 10 days, myself and a group of friends. And virtually every night we were at Fela Kuti's shrine, enjoying his Afrobeat music. Then from there, I started preparing to come to the UK. And on my route to the UK, I went to Mecca because I'm a Muslim, you see, so I performed my Hajj in Saudi Arabia before coming to the UK. And I told you I have a very interesting story to tell you about.
I'm looking forward to this one.
My first day in the UK, I sort of landed on a bleak winter, I think 22nd or 23rd December, I think 1977 or thereabout, 77, 78. Yeah, there, I think 78, yeah. A bleak winter day. And I was coming to the UK, not having made any proper arrangements about accommodation and all that. You know, and back home, when you want to travel to Kumasi or any other place, or my hometown in Keita, I come from the Volta region of Keita, you just pick up your bag, you don't have to tell anybody you are coming. So I thought it's the same thing here. Wow. So I landed and I had this friend of mine's address. So I took a cab from Heathrow Airport. He used to, the guy, my friend Sammy, is going to the other side now, God bless his soul. And I took a cab. He used to live in White City, in one of the estates there. So I landed there, and that was somewhere around midnight, you know. So I landed there, and then I climbed up the stairs to the door. I knocked the door, didn't hear anything, and then a few minutes later, I heard a lady's voice. Who are you? What do you want? And so, coming to, I've just arrived and coming to my friend. Say, your friend is not in at the moment. I said, where is he? He's gone to work or something to that effect. And then I thought the woman would open the door and let me in. She didn't. For obvious reasons. I mean, she doesn't know me from Adam, you know, and no information, nobody has told her anything that was. About 5 to 10 minutes later, 2 policemen.
Oh my gosh.
arrived at the door. So, what do you want? What are you doing here? Then I told them my story. I came to visit this friend, and he's not in, blah, blah, blah. And immediately the police arrived. The woman opened the door, you know, because she now felt safe. And then I told them my story, and the police asked the woman, you want to let him in? You understand? She said, no, I don't know him. So the police said, okay, you can come to the station and you can wait there till daybreak, when presumably your friend will come from wherever he's gone to, and then you can sort yourself out. So The police took me to their station, and then I was there. And you know, in Africa and the Caribbean, by 5:30, the sun starts rising.
Yes.
So I was checking
Not in the UK winter.
I was checking my time, and come 5:30, I set out, going back to the flat. And I was walking round and round and round, and I couldn't find the place.
Oh, gosh.
And the sun was not rising. Yeah. And so I came back to the police station, and then around 9, 10 o'clock, the sun was now up, and there was daylight. And then I went back to the flat. And by which time my friend was in. And I tell you, he was not happy at all.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so that is my first, what do you call it? My
first experience in the UK.
Of the oppressor land. So, so there you are. Yeah, and so from there, I found my way around and started my studies, and then completed my studies and started working. And later on, I found myself at Centerprise. That's where
That's what you're known for. That's you're internationally renowned for being at Centerprise.
Met me, and I was originally the finance officer. And then I think Centerprise used to be a collective form of management. And then it was changed. The trustees decided to change it to a hierarchical form of management. And fortunately, I applied for the job and I got the job. So I started running the center, I think about 2-3 years later.
Right.
And yeah.
And so I was doing the NABSS weeks, and I came to you and asked to use the Centerprise building for the full week of NABSS events in 2012.
I remember
the theme of the history of Black people in sports. That was because the Olympic year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I also had events around fundraising for the Mama Art Center. We had autism in the African heritage community. We had poetry. We had multiple events, even though the theme was around African heritage sports in the UK. But we had multiple events, and I think I still got the program. I'll put it up as in this interview. But I had during the week I had 65 events during that 1 week.
I remember. I wondered how you were going to pull it off, but you did.
But did I?
I haven't seen anything of the sort before, but
only the Olympics, I guarantee you, only the Olympic Games had more events in 1 week in this country.
Absolutely, yeah. I remember that very, very well. Yeah.
And we've even had a discussion downstairs about the free schools. Setting up free schools in our community. Where that discussion was downstairs as well.
Yeah.
There's so much going on. It was so good.
That's right. And we had some very good times.
And some very good food as well. The food is wicked.
Indeed.
Food and the books.
Yeah, we had the books. And in addition to that, Centerprise was more than a bookshop. But
the business center.
Nothing wrong with identify it with the books, but Centerprise was a real community hub. It was the heartbeat of the Dalston community. And we used to run a literature project, teaching people how to develop their writing skills. And it was at that time supported by the London Arts Board, and who subsequently changed to the Art Council London. And I think in one of their annual reports, it identifies Centerprise as as leading, I think 1994, 95 or thereabout, identifies Centerprise as leading the way for literature development in London. Yeah, which was a very big achievement given the constraints. And we were producing some very, very high caliber writers. That's right. And we sort of hosted a lot of literature events.
Well, you was also involved with Word Power, which is still going on. Word Power.
No, Word Power came a bit later, but I'm taking you back to the 90s now. Word Power came after the turn of the century, but during the 90s and the early turn of the century, we were the leading provider of literature development in London. Now, I don't know if you remember this lady, Andrea Levy.
No.
Okay, Andrea Levy, she died some time ago. She died very early, around 60 or thereabout. And one of her groundbreaking novels was Small Island.
Oh yeah, turned into a play.
That's right.
Yes.
It's ringing a bell now, is it?
Yes.
That's right, yeah. And as you know, Andrea Levy became one of the big time writers, and also Small Island was turned into a documentary by the BBC. And I remember Andrea Levy when she started her writing career. And I think her first book was Every Light in the House Burning. And when she started, I think she had an event at Centerprise. I don't think she didn't attend our creative writing courses, but she had a lot of events at the center. But in Every Light in the House Burning, I remember very well when virtually the audience were just a handful, mostly made up of Centerprise workers, a family, and a few people. And then to follow this woman's career to the height it reached, it sort of gives me some satisfaction as somehow being providing her with a platform right at the inception of her career. And these are the type of work we're doing in the community, giving people opportunities. Because mind you, I mean, you wouldn't get a look in, especially when you are Black, in any of the big venues.
And that's the issue we have now. We struggle for venues.
Exactly.
In our community. And as we all know, the Centerprise fell apart, but you're still involved in promoting African heritage literature.
Indeed, very much so. I mean, then I don't know if you remember, we used to run a carnival, which we named Hackney Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Hackney Mardi Gras.
No, not Mardi Gras.
No?
We pwn it, Mardi Gras, because of Mare Street.
Oh, as in Mare Street.
Mare Street, that's right. So we call it Hackney Mardi Gras.
Okay.
You know, and how did it come about? I mean, in 1998, 99, I don't know if you remember, but there was this European, that year was designated as European Year Against Racism.
Yeah.
That's right. And and we had some funding from the European Union. And so we organized a series of activities. Excuse me. We organized a series of activities to mark the occasion. And so we had historians, writers, book events, as usual, which was the core of our work. And then we decided to establish this festival of Hackney Mardi Gras. So we had partners from Ireland, Denmark, and France coming to take part in the carnival. And so due to the success of the first year's events, the council decided to give us regular funding, and it became an annual event for 10 years. Now, by 2007, 2008, the council decided to take it over. Yeah, as usual.
Mm.
And then when they took it over, they decided to change the name to Hackney One Carnival.
Hackney One Carnival.
Carnival, yeah. And
as
so
in everyone. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is still running up to now. So like most things that Black people, Black organizations do, when it is successful, the oppressor just takes it over and changes the name.
Mm.
So that we are lost in history and giving the impression that we make no contribution, whereas we do a lot to, I mean, contribute to the cultural development of this country.
Well, this is what happens when we don't fund our own initiatives and our own organizations.
Indeed, because we rely on,
we've got long pockets and short arms when it comes to our own things.
Yeah. And then when the council decided to annex the carnival, that is where we came up with Wet Power, which you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And this coincided with the 2007-2008 commemoration of the bicentenary commemoration of the slave trade, the 200th anniversary. That is when we came up with the Wet Power Festival. And
this festival is to promote African heritage literature and African heritage publishers and authors.
Yeah. And we did our first 2 events, the 2007-2008.
Was one at the Emirates?
Yeah, we did that at the Emirates.
The Arsenal football ground,
Stadium. Yeah, which was, I mean, which was a groundbreaking feat by organization the size of ours.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. And then once again, we have writers from the Caribbean, the motherland, Africa. We had writers from Canada, the US, and also a lot of local and national writers from this country that participated in that festival. Yeah.
Absolutely, but and it's still going, yes?
Yeah, indeed, it's still going.
Once a year?
Yeah, and this year we had it in Walthamstow.
Walthamstow.
Yeah, precisely a month ago, I think. Today's 5th, yeah. It was
beautiful.
Yeah, 5th of June.
So what's the outlook for you now? Are you retiring? Or you can't keep yourself still?
One thing I was telling a friend of my Basil Palmer of Mpamsi. He asked me the same question. I said, when you retire, then you drop dead. And
still got a baby face, huh?
I was telling him that I take inspiration from, of all people, Rupert Murdoch, who at 91 is still striking deals. So that gives me a lot of room to to operate.
Okay.
And the reason that came up is that Basil, he runs Mpamsi group of companies, and they have
and the Eat of Eden restaurants.
And Eat of Eden restaurants, and then they have shops in Brixton, Lewisham, Meacham, and Walthamstow.
And Croydon now.
And Croydon, that's right, yeah. And Basil has invited me to come and partner him to open another one in Housden.
Beautiful.
Yeah, which we are opening next week.
Okay.
Yeah, and then as you know, Pempamsi deals in it's a health food store, but they have a book section as well.
Absolutely, yes.
So the books will still be part of the work. So yeah, so currently, I mean, I've been invited to become a director of Pempamsi, and so I'll be running the housing shop. And
absolutely beautiful. That's good news. That's really brilliant news. So Emmanuel, I mean, you've done some fantastic stuff in the UK for our people. You've helped NABSS immensely by providing the venue for the NABSS Week 2012. It was absolutely brilliant.
That's right. Yeah,
stressful, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it was really good. So the National Association of Black Supplementary Schools would like to thank you once again, and also award you an award for community activism. For
my goodness!
Years of being active in the African heritage community in the UK.
Goodness me, this is the second award I've had in as many months.
There you go.
Yeah, I had forgotten. I have one on the 4th of June as a friend of the Caribbean. On the 4th of June, yeah. So this the second one. Thank you so much.
There you go. I've always remembered the help you've provided back in 2012.
I'm really humbled.
Absolutely. So I'll be linking up with you, and I'll be presenting this to you. So Emmanuel Amevor, this is for community activism, awarded to you by the National Association of Black Supplementary Schools. Congratulations.
Wow, you've made my day. Yeah, thank you so much. This is a big surprise. You kept that secret, didn't you?
So I'd like to give notice and acknowledge our elders and the people that work in the community, both young and old, and the youngsters as well, while they're still alive.
Yeah.
And share this information around the world about what is happening in the background. Not everybody's got their names up in lights and all over the TV. There's an immense amount of work going on in the background, and I will do what I can to bring, let people know what's going on. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much, and you and your team. I really, really appreciate this.
You're welcome.
I'm very much touched by it. Yeah.
Greetings, my name is Brother Nia Imara from the National Association of Black Supplementary Schools and NABSS TV, bringing to you this year the NABSS Awards 2022 for cultural education, community activism, and Kurundi Nyama, which is Swahili for giving back. This is for young people who are students or ex-pupils of a supplementary school, and they give back their time and energy to support the next generation in supplementary schools. And I'd like to thank the sponsors who are the African Spiritual Life Coaching, that's Brother Imani, Pen People down in South London by Nicholas Okwolu, African Caribbean Homeschool Network by Empress Kizzy, DAPS Design Print and Photography by Daniel Palmer, Black History Walks by Tony Warner, LFP Kiddies Club by Carmel Brito, and Kwame Oklu, who runs the Youth Learning Network Supplementary School down in Dulwich in South London. So thank you very much for those organisations to come forward to sponsor the NABSS Awards 2022. Thank you very much.